is News 6 at 9.
Millions of people suffer from back pain in the United States, and they often look to opioids for treatment. But now this laser could be a better solution to ease back pain. With people overdosing every day, the need for an alternative to prescription pain pills is clear.
And this new laser procedure is FDA approved, is offered by a local doctor.
News 6 investigator Lewis Bolden found out how it all works and why not everyone's a fan.
It's called the Erchonia laser. It is the only laser approved by the FDA to treat lower back pain, and millions of people in the United States suffer from back pain. In fact, statistics show it is the third leading cause for doctor's visits. But is this treatment right for you? With a pulse and a flash, what appears to be a laser light show is actually a cutting-edge procedure to treat pain.
I had radiating pain down my arm, so I had nerve pain.
After a yoga injury, Susie Rod was left with herniated discs and excruciating pain.
From 1 to 10, 10 being like very severe pain, I would say there were times when it was definitely a 10.
She says a neurosurgeon recommended surgery, and she was prescribed opioids to treat the pain.
They prescribed them, but I'm against them.
Instead, she turned to Dr. Joe Fuller and the Erchonia laser.
So here we go.
It can be used on various body parts, but the FX635 is the first and only laser in the world to be given FDA clearance to treat chronic low back pain.
This is phenomenal treatment, first off. Because we see it every day and how it changes people's lives.
Treatments can last from a few seconds to several minutes. Dr. Fuller says the laser stimulates energy in the cells so that the cells repair themselves. He says it treats the source, not just the symptom.
There's more and more doctors using this all over the world, and we're going to see more of it.
I'm smiling because I could kind of jump up and click my heels because I feel that great.
Dr. Matthew Willie is a pain rehabilitation specialist with Orlando Orthopedic.
Just because something is FDA approved doesn't mean it's a optimal treatment for that problem.
He is not opposed to laser treatments for pain, but says not enough research has been done to determine the effectiveness. His preferred method of treating pain, injections.
We utilize medicines, but oftentimes the medicine goes into the mouth, into the stomach, and the bloodstream and never actually gets to the problem area. So that's where the injections come in.
He also warns what works for one person may not necessarily work for others. But Rod says she is glad she took the chance.
I would say run. Not to the opioids, run to the treatment, run to the laser therapy.
Because this is a relatively new treatment, insurance does not always cover it. Treatments can cost between $75 and $125, and Dr. Fuller advises patients could need 6 to 12 treatments. Getting results, I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
Right, and joining us now, Dr. Joe Fuller of Fuller Chiropractic, you saw in Lewis's story. And Dr. Fuller, thanks for being with us. Who is a right candidate for this treatment? How do you know if you might be eligible or a good fit for trying it?
Sure. Well, anyone who has back pain and it's not resolving, so sometimes we get an injury and it self-resolves in a few days. But if it doesn't resolve, then it's worth trying. Okay. It's one of those systems that's a natural approach, and it's just going to change and help the healing process with your body.
And one thing that, we talk about the 6 to 12 treatments, one thing that maybe a lot of people need to realize is something like this, because it does kind of help your body heal naturally, it's not a one-stop shop necessarily. So, when you think about surgery, people are like, oh, well, that's one and done, but that's such a long recovery process if it's not completely necessary. Tell us about the 6 to 12 treatments and why that's often necessary.
Well, if you look at just like if you have an infection or something like that, where you're not going to be given one pill. You'll need a few to get the cells to change and kill off the infection, your body heal up. Laser's the same way. Actually communicates with the cells at the level of the DNA and energy sources, which is a mitochondria. And those areas are what allow cells to heal. So when cells are injured, the energy in the cells is lower, so we can actually inject energy into the cells. It receives that laser, and it upregulates or turns the cells on so it can start functioning at an optimum level, and that's what's going to happen. So that's why, depending on the depth of the injury, could take a little bit longer for those cells to recover. So when you ask that question, for me, I've been doing this for many, many years. I'm going to go to laser first thing. I'm not going to try anything else because I know it's going to turn cells on, and we can monitor that to see how fast the response is.
And is there an age requirement for this? I mean, there are kids with chronic, back pain as well. I mean, can kids
Absolutely
use this treatment?
Perfectly safe, yes.
Okay, so we're talking at all ages, really?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
And it's exciting to hear that now this is approved for so many things.
Absolutely, yep. Just on July 17th, it was just approved for all musculoskeletal conditions. So it's pretty full encompassing.
How
So if
long
you have
before-
muscles and a skeleton, it's good for you.
It's not
muscles in my
necessarily
skeleton.
it's not necessarily available everywhere yet, though. Talk to us
Correct.
about that.
I mean, it's so much more available than it has been. So more and more clinics are getting this and making it part of their treatment. So, yeah.
Are there any, okay.
I was going to say, what would you say to people who maybe typically always go to that MD and kind of always go the medicine route and are like, oh, well, I like that better. I feel like chiropractic and acupuncture really changed my life and a lot of injuries that I had. But a lot of people, when I talk to, are hesitant to give it a try, even though, if it doesn't work for you, I mean, it just doesn't work for you. So what would you say to people who are like, oh, I don't know about trying something like that?
Well, I think they should take a look at it and have a conversation with the chiropractor. Go have a consultation. Just talk to some friends. A lot of people go to chiropractors. You just don't even know it. So we see people at our office who run into one another and go, I didn't know you saw Dr. Fuller. And so it's kind of a thing. Health is all your personal process that you take care of, and you don't necessarily share everything. But when you're going that traditional route, you're relying on the response of chemicals to make the change. With a laser, it's turning on the cells, so your cells can decide what needs to be done. And by healing that, you recover all the time. Your body makes millions of cells a second. And so if those cells are healthier as they reproduce and they repair, your response is going to be much quicker.
All right. Well, doctor, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Sure, my pleasure.